They say for you probably to achieve your goals, you need to respect people and all that. Well, just to add on to that, for you to, if you want to see yourself far, I think it starts with being kind. I believe kindness is something that takes people very far. It takes you far as a person because of the rewards that will come. You never know who you'll be kind to, but the fact that you have to be kind to any other person, it's a way of also supporting people reach where they want to go. I believe our purpose is, acting for that person next to you, and it starts with being as kind as as possible. People are going through a lot of deep problems out here, so just that simple act of kindness can calm somebody down and make them have control of their life and have hope. So kindness brings hope, and if it's anything in this life, even when you don't have money, at least I know kindness is for free. My name is Patricia Mativo. I was involved in a road accident exactly 10 years ago. But then I was 16 years old. Yes, and I had to stop my studies for 2 years. So I was out of life and everything else. For 2 years, I was just at home trying to deal with the trauma and the depression, trying to understand what just came to me. Yeah. So after the 2 years, that's when I had to resume school. And just so you know, I used to study in Tanzania before I resumed my academics. So now I had to transition to the Kenyan system, and it was not easy first, but I knew what I wanted in life. But before that, I had a lot of barriers come before me. I never liked how my fellow classmates and students will look at me. They'll just see somebody of or share disability, because that's what people see, people with disabilities most, a big fraction of the population. That's what they see when they see somebody with a disability, and I never used to like it. So I just thought to myself, you know what, I have to come up with something that will make them see me as Patricia, see what I'm made of, and my capabilities. And since I was in school, I thought, why not read so hard and become the best? And of course I did that, and I was the best in sciences, and of course one of the best people in the class. By the time I was completing my KCSE, I tied with Index 1 for that school. So when that happened, it was like, wow, we didn't see that coming. And you see, for me, I not only represent women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, I also represent persons with disabilities. So that was just like, wow, how did she manage all that? Going to campus, I told myself, I ensure that by the time I'm leaving that school, I'll just disrupt everything. I joined campus politics. I served as an executive for 2 years, for 2 terms. Then I also joined various clubs. I was a leader of the health club. And of course in class, again, I was the best. But I was, proud that I'm representing my gender and my, persons with disabilities the best way possible. So when I graduated with a first-class honors in analytical chemistry, just to emphasize. And while I was in campus, I was that one person who would like to try everything, apply here and there. And just before I graduated, I'd applied for, the UNPFA Youth Advisory Panel position, and I submitted my CV, I was interviewed, and I became one of the members of the UNPFA Youth Advisory Panel. So while we were on our first meeting, people elected me as the vice chairperson. So yeah, that's where I am right now, as the vice chairperson of the United Nations Populations Fund, that is UNFPA Youth Advisory Board. Outside that, I'm also the coordinator of the global network of young persons with disabilities, whose mandate is to ensure that there is access to sexual and reproductive health rights of young persons with disabilities, but not only that, but also, accessibilities in terms of education, technology, and everything else that entails persons with disabilities. And I'm a top 40 under 40 women. For me, I find pleasure in, showing people the light to where they would want to go, because I'm not at comfort when I see somebody has a potential and they just don't have somebody who can direct them. And for me, I have the right networks. I have, like everything's almost at my disposal. So I use that to assist another person to go to where they want to, to achieve. So for me, mentorship has been something that comes, at times it's intentionally, but at times it's unintentionally. So I try to bring on board as many, and coincidentally it's women. Yes, both with and without disabilities. And how I pick them, actually, most of them, when they approach me, some will be like, can you be my mentor? I'll be like, yeah, okay, just tell me how and when I should guide you, because again, it's not like I'll just sit and then I'll be like, hey, so this and that. You have to show me that you're eager and interested. And because I also have a lot of things on my plate, it's not going to be like, easy for me to just tell you, what, we're supposed to do this, do that. But of course, for my youngest mentee, I have to tell her that because she's growing and she's trying to understand the life after high school and all that. So for me, for those who reach out to me, I try my level best when I can follow up with them. But there are those who I meet along the way and I pull them. Probably we met at a function and it's like, hey Trish, how can I do this? So it just goes on like that. And if there's an activity that needs somebody who I feel like meets their caliber or, their expertise, I tell them, come along. If they don't, I'll still tell them, come along, you have to learn this and do that. Make sure you have a good portfolio, you create and all that. It's just directing them on where they have to go. Wow, so being a top 40 under 40, I still don't have enough words to explain what that means to me. But I know it's something that, it's sort of a reward for all the things that I've been doing, like mentorship and being there for people. I'm one selfless person, very selfless. I prioritize people first before me unless I'm at a point where my mental health cannot really handle the situation. But ideally it's people than me, and I believe that's what we as humans are meant to be. Support somebody who's next to you, then it gives you joy and gives you pleasure to become the better self. So honestly, it's one of the titles that people have been really inspired with, and it has put me at it was, I don't know, let's say it was at a 7, I'm at a 9 right now, and it's making me more visible, and more visibility for me, it means that people who look up to me and people who I mentor and everybody else who feel that they have a way through me, it's I don't know how to say it, it's a plus for me and the people behind me. It's really important that people are able to mentor others, because we're not going to be here forever. Our lives are not even guaranteed the following second or the next day. But if we're able to ensure that we have mentored people enough that way, even when you're not there, they can do something greater than what you're doing. To ensure that you leave an impact, because you can't say, yes, Patricia, I was, maybe vice chair of the UNPFA advisory board about 2 years ago. But now if you go back to the books, since the 2 years, there's nothing that has progressed in terms of, how the UNPFA advisory board is conducting them programs, how they are reaching out to more young people. Then I don't think that meant even anything to me or to anyone by then when I was the leader. So for me, I believe great mentorship is when you as a leader or you as a mentor, you mentor someone to become greater than you are, and when they also mentor people who come after them. Is it a ripple effect that I mentor you, but you also mentor somebody after you, that way that when I'm done with you, I know that this line of work, there's somebody who will mentor other people. So it's more of, I mentored person A and person A mentored person B, and it went on like that. That means in terms of impact kept on going. It didn't stop at any point. But if you do not mentor, that means your impact will have to stop at some point. And I don't think that will really bring any difference. Yeah. Well, for any young person, young women seeking mentorship, I think it starts with identifying what you want in life, where you want to go in life. Then now identify the people in that field who are good at what they're doing. Then if you have the means to reach them too, then try to reach out to them. But if you can't, then start with your capacity. There are also women around you who have not yet made it somewhere where, like your most top celebrities, but they are heading somewhere. I think start with the people nearest to you who are already making a step in life, and one by one leads to, 2, 3, and all that. So start with the resources that are close to you, and do not lean on your own understanding. I believe there's a Bible verse that says that, do not lean on your own understanding. So it's important for you to seek mentorship. It will just help you see what's good in life. I mean, the challenges that people have faced before, so that you may avoid. And if probably you come across those challenges, at least you'll have an idea of how to, counter the challenges. So it's more of having a mentor. It's more of seeing the future, but before you reach to the future, you already know what to expect along the way.